What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody. Today is May 15th, 2026. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Having some internet difficulties. So please let me know if the sound is working because I don't know if you're even hearing me right now. Testing 1, 2. Okay, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, Sojourn. Thank you, Coffee Girl. Yeah, so if the internet cuts out, guys, it's because my internet is slow. So hopefully I can get through this without any disruptions. But until then, let's get some people in the chat and then we're going to break this down. We got a lot of events to cover. I've been away for a few days and I've got a lot of things to catch up on. So that's what we're going to try to do here in this decode. I'm going to try to weave together, as usual, all the events of this week and how there's like one number. Again, guys, I tell everyone all the time, every event on the world stage is a web. It's all connected and they all have it. It's all an intricate web. And that's what we're going to try to do today is put that web together and see what's really going on behind the scenes. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Thank you for everyone for being here tonight or today, wherever you are. Yes, eyes wide. Trump did receive some rose seeds, and we might even talk about this. It's super interesting that Z gave, how do you say his name, Z or whatever, gave Trump rose seeds. In fact, it might actually, I just found out about this a little bit ago. I was watching Franchot Pearson, and another great channel you guys should check out, but he was talking about how Trump got the rose seeds, and I just found this out. So this might actually tie into what I already had a decode prepared for. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of things to talk about. I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of stuff to add as well. Let's try to get some people in here. Let's hopefully my streams will start to draw some viewership again. Like I said, right now, lately, the streams have been doing very, very poorly. I don't know if people are just tired of my voice, and I think maybe that's possible. But last couple streams have not been good. So we'll see how it turns out. But at the end of the day, we are going to try to focus on what's happened this week. There's a lot of things that I was going to cover that I didn't get a chance to. And so now we're going to go over that here. So let's see. I'm trying to find my, hold on. Let me take myself off the screen here. Trying to find the buttons missing today. Okay, there it is. All right, so now you guys can see the full screen. Good advice from Kevin, my buddy in the chat. Don't focus on it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's YouTube, to be honest. So I don't really take it to heart too much. But yeah, so I appreciate the kind words in the chat from everyone. I'm just giving like one more minute before I start. It's nice to see you. Thank you, Sojourn, for the kind words. Appreciate it. All right, just waiting up here. Got a lot of the regulars in the chat. There's an Epstein hearing right now. Really? Oh, that's still going on? Great. I try to ignore the Epstein stuff. It's just annoying. So, like I said, we got 73. So let's get into this. I think what I'm going to show here is going to be pretty clear by the numbers. And we're going to talk about what I think could be coming later this year at some point, or at least within the next couple years. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to be something connected with the Nixon shock. And in case you guys don't know what that is, the Nixon shock, Let me find it here. The Nixon shock was the effect of a series of economic measures, including wage and price freezes, subcharges on imports, and unilateral cancellation of direct international convertibility of the United States dollar to gold, taken by the United States during Richard Nixon on the Jesuits' birthday, by the way, August 15th, 1971. So this is everything going on this week is connected to the Nixon shock, and I'm going to try to prove that here with this decode. And so what I'm saying here is there's a shock to the system, to the economy, right? And Trump is in China, and of course China, the communist nation. Trump in China from the 13th to today, right? And he did, in fact, receive rose seeds. Xi Jinping gifted rose seeds to Donald Trump. So this is interesting because the rose is a very important symbol to secrecy, very important symbol in esoteric, just esoteric. You got there's a whole group called the Rosicrucians, for gosh sake. So the rose is a huge symbol, and Trump is admiring the roses, right? So, yeah, sorry, I have a comment up. I always forget to take these comments down. There we go. All right, so let's see. Anyway, Nixon shock. Okay, we're going to connect to this. We're going to connect to Trump being in China. Okay, Trump in China. We're also going to connect to the deaths of two basketball players. Two basketball players died this week, and we're going to connect to that as well. And we're also going to talk about Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh is the new Fed chair. And today is his first day as the Fed chair. And I'm going to show you how absolutely ridiculous this is, how this guy is tied to the Federal Reserve and the Nixon shock. And remember, the Nixon shock was all about the Federal Reserve as well, okay? So we have to bring all these pieces together. That's what we're going to try to do. And remember, this all started in May when we had the horse win the Run for the Roses. Okay, the beginning of May was the Run for the Roses. And who won? It was Golden Tempo. Again, gold. The Nixon shock was all about the convertibility of gold, right? The convertibility of the United States dollar to gold, okay? He took the United States off the Bretton Woods Agreement that happened in 1944. So gold and roses both connected to the beginning of this month with the horse that won the Run for the Roses. Okay, that's what the Kentucky Derby is called. Okay, we're in the year of the horse. And so the horse is a very important theme this year, even more than normal. But let's get into it. And remember, I forgot, but my buddy, AJ, didn't Catherine O'Hara play Moira Rose? Exactly, yeah. So I remember back when Catherine O'Hara died, she had played a character named Moira Rose. I just now remembered this. Shout out to AJ from Ball Don't Lie who brought this up when it happened, when she died. But why are we talking about Catherine O'Hara? Well, Catherine O'Hara died on January 30th. And back on this day, we did a decode and we showed how this was connected to the Federal Reserve. Why is it connected to the Federal Reserve? Well, Donald Trump nominated Kevin Warsh, who just now took over, on the same day that Catherine O'Hara died. Now, in the movie, Home Alone. Guys, this is so clear in my opinion. She's screaming Kevin, okay? And she's shocked, okay? Look at this. This is the Nixon shock, okay? I'm telling you, this is what this is all about. The most famous photo of Catherine O'Hara, who died the day that Kevin was nominated, okay? She's most famous for looking shocked and screaming Kevin. That's what she's most famous for, okay? So we have the connection between the shock and Kevin, all right? Now I'm going to prove that this is all connected in just a second. But before we get into the Nixon shock, why is Trump in China? How does that have to do with gold and the Nixon shock? Well, look at this. China is the world's largest producer of gold, okay? China, guys, where Trump is during all of this week, China, out of all places, China is the largest producer of gold, okay? Keep that in mind. China is also the second largest producer of silver, okay? You see, China is second behind Mexico producing silver. So China is the number 1 for gold and number 2 for silver in the entire world. Now, the two countries that are meeting this week, China and United States, they own the largest amounts of Bitcoin, which is considered digital gold, okay? The countries with the largest known government Bitcoin holdings are the United States and China, okay? So China holds the most gold, produces the most gold, produces the second most silver, and holds the second most amount of Bitcoin, okay? Now, I want you guys to notice here, the number we're going to talk about is PRC. That's the People's Republic of China, PRC. That equals 143. Guys, this is so important. This 143 is going to be the number of the day, and I'm going to show you just how important the number 143 is here in a little bit. But I want you guys to remember that PRC, the People's Republic of China, sums to 143, okay? But look at this, guys. On the day that Trump was meeting with China, look how old Donald Trump was. 79 years and 47 weeks. Guys, gold is the 79th element. Silver is the 47th element. Trump is in China, the country that produces the most gold and silver, 1 and 2, and Trump is 79 and 47. But Xi is also 47 weeks after his birthday, but he's 72. Well, where does 72 come in? That's the gematria of money and Bitcoin. Now look at the price yesterday when I was doing this decode. Guys, I was in the middle of doing this decode. I realized that Trump was 79 years and 47 weeks old. And I went on to the charts and look at the price of Bitcoin. It was at 79,000. Now look at the price of gold. It was at 4,700. Are you coding me? This was when Trump was 79 years and 47 weeks old, when he was in China. And again, China is the country that connects to gold and silver, okay? Now, Bitcoin is digital gold, and Bitcoin equals money, equals 72. There are 72 bricks on the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. There's China is part of BRICS, okay? China is part of BRICS, right? China is the largest economy and the founder member of BRICS, okay? Now, on the back of the dollar, On the back of the dollar, there are 72 bricks. Okay. So Xi is 72. And again, he was 72 weeks or 72 years and 47 weeks old because Xi is born on June 15th. Trump's born on June 14th. So they're born one day apart. But I mean, what are the odds, guys? Trump perfectly timing his visit to the country that produces essentially the most metals in the world, and he's just perfectly aligned with the metals on the periodic table. I mean, it's just undeniable. Now remember, I just did a video a few days ago about a golden calf, a statue of Donald Trump that was put up in Miami. Remember, the gematria of golden calf is 79 and 47. That's how old Trump is right now. 79 years and 47 weeks old. Golden calf. I just did the video about this. This just happened a week ago. Okay? Everything this month is connected to the money, the gold, the Federal Reserve, the metals. Okay? Now remember, gold and silver are also about alchemy, which is also part of the process of turning lead into gold, right? But golden calf, 79 and 47, okay? Trump's age. And remember, golden calf equals 79. Gold is the 79th element. The pastor who put up the statue was born in 79. Trump's 79 years old, okay? Well, what happens when you type out the number 79? Look at this. 79 in Bacon Simple sums to 143. This is where guys, I want you guys to pay attention, okay? 143. This is such a big number. Now, Trump put up a golden statue, okay? That equals 143. Remember I told you how People's Republic of China, PRC, equals 143, okay? These 143s are about to blow your guys' mind, okay? This number is so important to all of this. But just remember that when you type out the number 79, which is how old Trump is right now, it sums to 143 like golden statue, okay? But 143 is the gematria of Federal Reserve. Let me fix this. Kevin Warsh is taking over the Federal Reserve today, 143 days after the Federal Reserve's birthday. Are you coding me? You guys see that? What are the odds? And this 143 is going to be even more important. I mean, this is just the beginning. Today, Kevin Warsh is taking over the Federal Reserve 143 after the founding date of the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve equals 143, okay? It's going to get even better, guys. Again, Kevin Warsh was nominated the same day that Catherine O'Hara died. She screams Kevin. Kevin on the Home Alone movie is shocked. And so is Catherine O'Hara. She's also shocked. All right, so the Nixon shock, 1971. But before we get back to this, we had 2 basketball players die this week, okay? Now, there is a basketball player named Kobe Bryant who has a connection to the number 143. We're going to take a little bit of a detour here, but we have to cover this. So this week we had basketball players die, and let me see if I can remember the name of the guy now. Hold on. Brandon Clark. Okay, Brandon Clark died at 29 years old. So in the midst of all this, Brandon Clark died, okay, at a young age of 29. You might be like, Cody, what's this have to do? Just wait. I'll show you. Another guy, the same day that he was announced dead, a guy named Jason Collins, another basketball player, was announced dead. Okay? Now, both of these guys are connected to the Federal Reserve and the number 143. I'm going to show you. So the first thing you have to understand is Kobe Bryant and how they connect to Kobe. Kobe wore the number 143 in his early days. Kobe was born on 8/23. 8/23 is the 143rd prime number. What's the odds? Kobe wore the number 143 and his birthday, 8/23, is the 143 prime. Not a coincidence. The Home Alone movie is 143 long. Are you coding me? No, no, no. If that's true, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose it, guys. I'm going to lose it. How did I miss that? The Home Alone movie isn't. Wait, hold on. Is 103 minutes, 1 hour, 43 minutes. Guys, look at this. The Home Alone movie is 1 hour and 43 minutes. I didn't even know this. What the heck? I cannot believe it, man. I did a whole decode on the number 143. You haven't even seen it all yet, guys. You haven't even seen the mind-blowing connections I have to the 143. And I just found out that the whole Home Alone movie I'm connecting it to is 1 hour and 43 minutes long. It's impossible. Okay, so now we got to get through this basketball connection, okay? So from the day that Catherine O'Hara died and Kevin Warsh was nominated by Trump to the death of Brandon Clark, the basketball player, 14 weeks and 3 days. Okay? Federal Reserve. From the day that Trump nominated the Federal Reserve to the death of this basketball player, 14 weeks and 3 days. The word inflation equals 143. Trump is trying to get the new Federal Reserve chair to get the inflation under control. But look at this, guys. So the other basketball player that died, Jason Collins, look at what he equals. So I told you these two basketball players died. One died 14 weeks and 3 days after Kevin Warsh was nominated. Remember, Kevin Warsh is taking over the Federal Reserve 143 days after the Federal Reserve. Okay, the Federal Reserve is 112 years, 143 days old today. And Kevin Warsh is taking over. This guy died 14 weeks and 3 days after he was nominated. Okay, but look at this. Brandon Clark died, or his death was, so Brandon Clark and Jason Collins died or were announced dead 143 days after Brandon Clark's last game. Are you kidding me? This is getting undeniable. Now look at this from Kobe's death, who wore the number 143, to the announcement of these two basketball players. It was 6 years, 3 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days. 6/3/23 is the 8/23rd prime. That's Kobe's birthday. From his death to these two guys being announced dead breaks down to Kobe's birthday. And remember, Kobe's birthday, 8/23, breaks down to 143 again, which is why Kobe wore the number 143. And again, this happened 143 days after the last game Brandon Clark ever played. Can you believe it, man? It's too perfect. It's going to get even better because we're going to get back to the Nixon shock. Remember, Jason Collins died and he equals 143. Guys, Jason Collins was born 14 weeks and 3 days after Kobe. What? This is improbable. The guy who wears the number 143, the basketball player, Kobe, the guy who just died, Jason Collins, who died 6'3", after Kobe, which breaks down to 143. He was born the same year as Kobe, in the year of the horse. Remember, we're in the year of the horse now. His name equals 143. And he was born 14 weeks and 3 days after Kobe. It's just too perfect. Now, he's a twin, guys. This Jason Collins is a twin. That means there was two twins born 14 weeks and 3 days after Kobe. That connects us back to the Twin Towers, but it also connects us back to Mercury. A lot of people in the chat have been talking about Mercury. Today is Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday is named after Mercury. But actually Odin, but Wednesday is the day of Mercury, and Wednesday equals 143. Now, we're talking about the Nixon shock, right? Well, lightning can shock you. And check out the word lightning. Lightning equals 143, okay? So that's another connection with that. No, that's what I meant, Kevin. Kevin Warsh was passed through the Senate on a Wednesday, and what I meant was that Wednesday is for Mercury. Today is Friday, that's correct, which connects with all the rose stuff. That's Venus. We're going to skip this one for now. Okay, we're going to skip this one for now. This is real. Actually, let's just quit. Go subscribe to the channel Wes, okay? He made some great finds. When Brandon Clark died, he died 131 days before his birthday. He died on the 131st day of the year. He played for the Grizzlies, which equals 131. And in Hebrew gematria, his name, Brandon Clark, equals 131. So, guys, this has nothing to do with the 143s. This is just a one-off. Let's just stay focused on the 143s. So tomorrow, we have the Preakness Stakes. Remember, the first horse race this month, it was won by a horse named Golden Tempo. Now, look at this. One of the horses. Now, I'm not saying this horse is going to win, guys, okay? It's very hard to pick horses in horse racing, okay? I'm not saying this horse is going to win. In fact, it would make sense for him also not to win because it's the gold, right? His name is Corona de Oro, okay? What does Corona de Oro mean? It means crown of gold, okay? Corona de Oro is the son of a horse named Bolt de Oro. Are you coding me? The gold, okay, and the bolt, the shock. This is the Nixon shock, guys. Do you guys get what I'm pointing out here? This horse is named Crown of Gold, and he's the son of Nixon, or of Bolt, like shock, okay? Nixon shock, okay? Now, I'm going to prove to you that this horse race is all connected to the Nixon shock using the number 143. Look at this. Look at this, guys. The Preakness Stakes tomorrow will be 14 weeks and 3 days after the Fed chair who's getting replaced after his birthday. Jerome Powell, the Preakness Stakes will be taking place 14 weeks and 3 days after his birthday. He's getting replaced today by Kevin Warsh. And again, Kevin Warsh is taking over 143 days after the Federal Reserve's birthday. Now, 14 weeks and 3 days, didn't we already cover that measurement? Didn't Brandon Clark die 14 weeks and 3 days after Kevin Warsh was nominated? Wasn't Jason Collins, who just died, born 14 weeks and 3 days after Kobe, who wore the number 143? And now we find out that the former head of the Federal Reserve, which equals 143, The Preakness Stakes will be 14 weeks and 3 days after his birthday. But not only that, it will be 14 weeks and 3 days before Kobe Bryant Day. Are you coding me? Kobe Bryant, the one who wore 143. The Federal Reserve equals 143. 14 weeks and 3 days after Powell's birthday. 14 weeks and 3 days before Kobe Bryant Day, which is August 24th. But Trump is leaving China today. And remember, PRC equals 143. PRC equals 143, People's Republic of China, okay? Trump is leaving the People's Republic of China 14 weeks and 3 days before Kobe's birthday. Today. Today is 14 weeks and 3 days before Kobe's birthday and 143 days after the Federal Reserve was founded. Also, the Preakness Stakes will be taking place 47 years and 8 months and 23 days after Kobe was born. 8/23, his birthday. 8/23 is the 143rd prime number. And here's the big one, guys. The guy who's riding the horse, Corona de Oro, in the race tomorrow. I already connected it to the Nixon shock. The guy who's riding the horse, look at this, guys. This is unbelievable. The guy who's riding Corona de Oro tomorrow, look. He was born 14 weeks and 3 days after the Nixon shock. This is when you know you're onto something. Only one number I needed. The guy who's riding the horse tomorrow was literally born the same year and born 14 weeks and 3 days after the Nixon shock. The same measurement that I just showed you from the former Federal Reserve chair to tomorrow is 14 weeks and 3 days. 14 weeks and 3 days to Kobe Bryant Day. Today's 14 weeks and 3 days before Kobe's birthday. Trump is leaving. But the rider of the horse just happens to be born 14 weeks and 3 days after the Nixon shock. Unbelievable. Wait, the Knicks and the Thunder are playing. Oh my gosh, great connection, Mr. S. The Knicks and Thunder. The Knicks and Thunder could be playing in the NBA Finals. "14 horses are in the race, and they're all 3 years old." Oh my goodness, you guys are so amazing, man. The Knicks. Okay, so let's get this one at a time. The Knicks and the Shock. Oh my gosh. If this is the NBA Finals, it's going to be all about the Nixon shock, man. Knicks shock. The Thunder, you get it? And then somebody just mentioned the Preakness Stake has 14 horses, and all of them are 3 years old. 143. Oh my gosh. But there's only one rider. There's only one person that's connected with the Nixon shock so perfectly, and it's this guy, John R. Velasquez. But guys, remember, we started this whole decode by talking about Kevin Warsh, the new Federal Reserve chair, taking over 143 days after the Federal Reserve's birthday. Look at this. Kevin Warsh was born 1 year, 4 months, and 3 days before the Nixon shock. Mic drop. Boom shakalaka. Please share this decode. Can I get some I got 93 likes. I don't want to beg for likes. But come on, guys. What I just showed you is improbable. I needed one number. I connected all of these events with one measurement, essentially, One number, the Nixon shock. Okay? Kevin, remember, Kevin was nominated the same day as Catherine O'Hara died. Trying to find that again. Right here it is. Catherine O'Hara died. Kevin Warsh nominated. 14 weeks and 3 days. Somebody in the chat saying if Scotty Scheffler wins the PGA Championship this weekend, the running win total will be 143. I'm not sure what does that mean? So this explains why we have 2 basketball players dying this week that are connected with 143, because it's all connected to Kobe, of course, which connects to the Federal Reserve, which connects to... I mean, what are the odds that this horse rider tomorrow is born 14 weeks and 3 days after the Nixon shock, man? And what are the odds that Kevin Warsh is born 1 year, 4 months, and 3 days before the Nixon shock? It's just undeniable. And I want to give a big shout out to these 2 who helped make these finds. Without these 2 commenters, I would have never found the John Velasquez connection, Fading the Public. So shout out to him. Remember, earlier this week, I talked about how Trump was 1933 days as president when his golden statue was put up. Remember how I added the 2 totals of his 2 terms, and it summed to 1933, and 1933 was the Executive Order 6102, where Roosevelt issued order all persons to deliver their gold to the Federal Reserve, okay? And again, I just talked about this. But again, golden statue, guys, Trump's golden statue, 143, like Federal Reserve. And then again, the number 79, when you type it out, equals 143. That's the element of gold. Now, another thing happened this week with crypto. The Clarity Act is something going on in crypto. This is also happening. Crypto industry scores a win as Clarity Act regulation bill clears the Senate. I see. So 19 previous winners on the PGA Tour and their total PGA wins currently add to 122. If Scotty Scheffler wins, he will win his 21st, which would add up to 143. That's an amazing addition. So crypto is even in the news this week with the Clarity Act, okay? And so don't overlook that as well. Remember, I talked about Bitcoin. I was just trying to see if there was anything that I missed with that. Guys, there's a horse in the race that sums to 143. Hold on. I missed this. Napoleon Solo. This is another horse to watch. Again, Corona de Oro does not need to win for this ritual to still be perfect, because he doesn't need to win, but it would make sense if he won, or it would also make sense if he lost. I don't know anything about horse racing, but there's a horse in the race named Napoleon Solo, and Napoleon Solo equals 143 in Bacon simple gematria. That's super interesting. And again, I'm not advertising betting, okay? Because especially horse racing, it's not easy. But that is interesting. So anyway, speaking of crypto, there was one cryptocurrency that was at $1.43 when I was making this decode. And look at which one it was. So you guys think that's a coincidence? There was one cryptocurrency that was at $1.43. XRP. So I'm just putting that there because I already showed you how Bitcoin was at 79,000 like gold. And gold was at 4,700. But XRP yesterday, when I made this decode, was at 143. Now remember, in the movie Sneakers that came out in 1992, they hack into the Federal Reserve and they see XRP on the screen. You guys remember that? Sneakers movie XRP Federal Reserve. Right here it is. Right here, Federal Reserve transfer mode. Code LINXRP262, right? XRP 262, right? Right there on the Federal Reserve screen in the movie Sneakers from 1992. Remember, XRP cryptocurrency equals 262. So XRP has a exoteric connection to the Federal Reserve in this movie. So XRP was at 143 yesterday when all these Federal Reserve 143 riddles are going on. So that's not a coincidence. Now, the Nixon shock. Here's another one-off. The Nixon shock. If you go to tomorrow's race, the Nixon shock will turn 19,999 days old. Tomorrow. What the heck? I mean, what's that? Well, I don't know what that means, but it's a pretty interesting alignment. Yeah, there's something going on. Some people are having trouble finding me on YouTube now. Tara Michelle in the chat saying it's hard to find me on YouTube now when you type in my name. Yeah, I've heard that recently. I think it might have been my fault. I changed my number behind my name. But yeah, I don't know what this means, guys, but 19,999 days to tomorrow after the Nixon shock, which means that the next day will be 20,000 days later. That's an even number, right? Anyway, let's recap. For all those just getting in, let's just do a quick recap. Trump visiting the nation in the world that makes the most gold and second most silver. He's visiting when he's 79 years and 47 weeks old. Gold's 79th element. Silver's the 47th. The Chinese president is 72 years and 47 weeks old. Money equals 72. Bitcoin equals 72. Bitcoin was at 79,000 and gold was at 47,000. Golden calf, which was just mentioned last week with Trump's statue, that equals 79 and 47, which is gold and silver. Trump is 79. 79 equals 143, like golden statue equals 143. Federal Reserve equals 143. Today's 143 days after the Federal Reserve's birthday. Kevin Warsh taking over. Catherine O'Hara, and another big find during this thing. Oh, Incredibolt and Corona de Oro have the same father or the same sire. Bolt de Oro. Wow. I didn't catch that. But one thing that we found out in this stream that blew my mind is that the length of the Home Alone movie is an hour and 43. I mean, guys, if I don't know how much more obvious it can be. I literally had no idea that Home Alone was an hour and 43 minutes long. And I did this whole decode about the number 143. And thank you to whoever dropped it in the chat, but this was one of the biggest finds of this whole decode that you guys dropped of the length of this movie. Just absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah, Catherine O'Hara, Kevin, shock, Nixon, shock, right? Kobe Ware 143. Basketball players died this week. 14 weeks and 3 days after Catherine O'Hara, who was in the movie that was an hour and 43 minutes long. Right? Inflation, that's another big one. Inflation 143. These two guys were announced dead 143 days after Brandon Clark's last game, which was also 6-3-2-3 after Kobe died, which breaks down to 143. Jason Collins equals 143, born 14 weeks and 3 days after Kobe. The Preakness Stakes coming up tomorrow is 14 weeks and 3 days after the former Federal Reserve head's birthday and 14 weeks and 3 days before Kobe Bryant Day. Trump is leaving China 14 weeks and 3 days before Kobe Bryant's birthday, which is the 143. And again, the horse rider tomorrow, born 14 weeks and 3 days after the Nixon shock. And the new head of the Federal Reserve, born 1 year, 4 weeks, and 3 days before the Nixon shock. So I don't know what else to say. Like, I needed one number. These are the kind of decodes that get me like really going because, guys, I needed one number, okay? I didn't need to go all off on all these other numbers. Yeah, I did mention what Rebecca Carrington said. There's 14 horses in the race. All of them are 3 years old. That's kind of like the number 143. But again, like, I love to do a decode where one number just continues to come up. And you guys got to understand when you're doing a decode and you start seeing this number, but then you start seeing it come up everywhere. It's like, man, this is undeniable. Like, I started looking at all these people's measurements, and every time I measured, it was 143. That's how you know you're on the right track. Okay. And another thing that happened this week that Zach Hubbard mentioned is the Cavaliers, on the day that this was all happening, they got their 143rd playoff win. Oh, yeah, we should probably talk about Katy Perry's album, 143. Yeah. Guys, I didn't even think about this. Katy Perry's album. When did this? September 20th, 2024. So there's even like a clear thing going on with this 143, right? Because there's literally one of the most famous singers on the planet right now made an album called 143, okay? So, and it stands for I Love You, which goes perfect with the rose themes today. But yeah, so let's see how many days it is. Let's just do a quick measurement. September 20th, 2024 to the Preakness Stakes. So the Preakness Stakes, well, isn't it interesting that from Katy Perry's 143 album to today is 134? Kind of like the reverse of 143. That's interesting. I wonder what happens 1 year and 43 weeks later. Let's see. 1 year. Oh, guys, 1 year and 43 weeks is 666 days. Interesting. That's a new one for me. If you measure 1 year and 43 weeks, that sums to 666 days. And from Katy Perry's album, 143, 1 year and 43 weeks later is going to be July 17th. So that's a date to watch for. July 17th. So yeah, 1 year, 43 weeks is 666 days. That is a great, new, I learn something new every day. But today is 1 year and 34 weeks after her album. So it's interesting. Now, there was a connection. Didn't Katy Perry release this album on 143rd birthday of a president? Can anyone remember what that was? Garfield? James A. Garfield. Okay, so James A. Garfield died on September 19th, 1881. Katy Perry released her 143 album So James Garfield's death was 143 years and 1 day before Katy Perry's 143 album. Okay, so how's that for a coincidence? Is it just a coincidence that she decides to release an album called 143 after the death anniversary, the 143rd death anniversary of a president? So that's pretty obvious, in my opinion. And again, if anyone catches anything else about this album that I missed, I'm sure there's got to be a connection here. There has to be. September 20th. Let's just see how old Kevin Warsh was. Interesting. I'm just trying to figure out maybe how that album connects to all this. I was also looking at the 143rd Preakness Stakes because I just connected the Preakness Stakes tomorrow. Where is it? Hold on. So the last, the 143rd Preakness Stakes was in 2018. So if anyone can also find, I didn't have time to run more. Yeah, Katy Perry has an album called Dark Horse, or a song called Dark Horse. It's all about the horse too, because Kobe Bryant was born in the year of the horse, and this guy that just died, the basketball player Jason Collins, he was born in the year of the horse, 14 weeks and 3 days apart. Here we are again in the year of the horse. The 143rd Preakness Stakes was on May 19, 2018. So the horse that won this was Justify. And Justify would go on to win the Triple Crown that year. So the last horse to win the Triple Crown, he won the 143rd Preakness Stakes. So that's interesting. That's Justify. I don't know. I didn't have time to look more into this, but I'm sure there's probably something there as well. All right, let me just get into the chat a little bit more here, and let's hit some question or some comments. Let me just set this up here. But guys, you know what? I built this whole decode on 143, and I didn't even know that he was taking over today. And then I measured from the Federal Reserve to the day he's taking over today, and it was 143 days after their birthday. I was like, are you kidding me? This was actually the last slide I built. Can you believe it? This was the last slide, and I had to put it first because I didn't even know this. Uh, 143 Deluxe is titled 143.2. I didn't know that. You mean Katy Perry's album? Oh, Justified equals 103. Interesting. Because the 103 minutes is 1 hour and 43 minutes. So the 103 is kind of connected here. Justify. Uh-oh, Justify equals 79. Look. So that's interesting. Justify equals president equals Apollyon. Here's your Apollyon stuff again. Oh, your name is Kobe? Hey guys, we got Kobe in the chat. How about that? Anyway, glad you're here, Kobe. Glad you're here. And let's see. Cody, check out the Blue Foster album. It has a track, 2 tracks, only. Blue Foster album. What do you mean? It has 2 tracks, and one of them is 143 and Home Alone? No. That's too good to be true. What is that album again? Blue Foster album. What's the album called? Hold on. Blue Foster album 143 Home Alone. Are you kidding me? Guys, are you guys alive in the chat right now? Look at this. There's literally an album out there with 2 songs on it, and one of the songs is called 143 and the other one's called Home Alone. What is this, man? What is this reality, man? Are you kidding me? This is what the guys, anyone who does not hit the like on this stream, I don't know how you couldn't, because this isn't even me. Hit the like for this guy who just shared this. I don't even know how you knew about this. First of all, I would have never found this. Like, what is this? I literally just talked about all these things, and there's an album out there called One that has 143 and Home Alone on it. I don't even know what to say, man. I do not even know what to say. And don't forget, the movie Home Alone is 1 hour and 43 minutes long, okay? We already covered that. Oh, boy. I mean, where else on the internet are you getting synchronicities like this? On live, too. Like, we have literally on live proven our point by the people in the chat have proven my point even more. And where else on the internet are you finding synchronicities like this? Like, come on. Like, it's unbelievable. I just my whole decode is about the number 143 and Home Alone, essentially. I started with the Home Alone person, and some guy in the chat just happens to know about a music album. It's I don't even know how you knew that. Who was that again? Was that Coded Dogs? Coded Dogs, yeah, I don't know how you even knew about this, but I got to give you props because yeah, World Wide Web equals, guys, that's kind of perfect, isn't it? World Wide Web. Aren't we kind of finding this because we're on the World Wide Web? Check out the Home Alone prop number 143. What's this now? Home Alone prop 143. In Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, lot 143 refers to a special piece of production used screen memorabilia from the 1992 film. What is this, man? Is it going to get even more crazy now? I don't know if this is what you wanted me to look up. But what is this? There's a lot for 143 in Home Alone 2? Guys, if this is true, like what? I mean, that might just be the AI spitting whatever it wants out, but in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, prop 143, what does that mean though? I don't get it. It refers to the Wet Bandits escape. What is this, man? Look. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, lot number 143. Oh my goodness. Guys, please share this video because people, if they're not believers in true synchronicity after this video, I don't know what is this? I guess we better look at the 143rd day of the year this year, huh? The 143rd day of the year is May 23rd, so that's a day to watch. May 23rd is the 143rd day and 1 year, 4 months, and 3 days after Trump's inauguration. Wow, that's a good one, decoding our reality. So if we go from Trump's inauguration to, yep, look at that. That's the exact amount of time between Kevin Warsh and the Nixon shock. You see this? Kevin Warsh, 1 year, 4 months, and 3 days before the Nixon shock. If you go from Trump's inauguration to the 143rd day of the year this year, it's the same duration. That's a great find, Decoding Our Reality. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel as well. Literally the same duration, guys. One year, 4 months, 3 days. 1 year, 4 months, 3 days. And that lands on the 143rd day of the year. I mean, what are the odds? But that's a Saturday, so there's not going to be anything that happens to the markets on a Saturday, but it is a Saturday, so I don't know what that means, but that's still a great alignment. My goodness, this is turning into one of my favorite decodes I've ever done, because you guys have turned this decode from amazing to like actually like astronomical. Like what you guys added to this stream have absolutely blew this out of the water, okay? And again, that's why we're a team here. This is not just my channel. There's 143 likes, guys. Don't hit the likes. There's 143 likes. Oh, who hit the like? Somebody just hit the like, man. Somebody put it at 144. See, for once, I'm telling you guys not to hit the likes, and then you guys hit the likes. No, you guys are always good at hitting the likes, but it was funny that it was on 143. Okay, so anyway, I'm almost gonna have too much of a mind blown. Does yours still show 143? Mine shows 145 now. See, they take away likes, guys. If you watch it, they take away likes, man. I watch it all the time. Which I don't know why they do that crap. Some people are saying they took away 2 likes now. I did see it go back to 143, so I don't know what's going on. But now it's at 151 on mine. Anyway. Does anyone else have anything before we end this mind-blowing stream? Ezra 2:29 says children of Nebu and 143. Ezra 2:29. Wait, Ezra? Wait. What do you mean by it says 143 in Ezra 2:29? I don't see that. I see 52. Am I missing something? $143 is the 108th composite, yeah. What is Psalms 143? Yeah, let's read Psalm 143, guys. Let's get some biblical stuff in here. Well, I don't know if I'm going to read it, but I stretch out my hands to you. Oh, okay. That's interesting. A Psalm of David. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear to my supplications. In thy faithfulness, answer me, and in thy righteousness. And enter not into judgment with thy servant, for in thy sight shall no man living be justified. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but does anyone see anything interesting here? Hold on. Yeah, 143 is slang for I love you, right? So that's another thing that we didn't even talk about. I love you. Wait, can anyone remind me again, why is 143 slang for I love you? Hold on, let me just look it up. 143 I love you. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, it's 1 letter, 4 letters, and 3 letters. So I love you, 143. And it's true, I do love you guys. Really. I love that you guys are all here with me as usual, and I enjoy these streams more than you guys know. And yeah, and God loves us too, right? But we're not talking about this fake love that the world puts around either. We're talking about agape love, not fake, not this what do you call it? I don't even know what you call it anymore. I'm a bit tired, so I got up pretty early this morning. But either way, guys, I do love you guys, and I hope that everyone enjoyed the stream. We're gonna start wrapping it up now. Unless somebody has anything else mind blowing to share, please don't hesitate. But thank you guys so much for all the kind words and all the love. Thank you to all the people who. Here's another great comment by Decoding Our Reality. May is the month of the lily and June is the month of the rose. We are in the 13th year of I Pet Goat. Lily is the 13th character in the classroom scene who has a rose in her hair. Oh, I also forgot to talk about another guy who died this week. But yeah, great addition from Decoding Our Reality. That's really interesting about the 13th year. Another guy that died this week was Donald Gibb. Donald Gibb died, and he was in Revenge of the Nerds. His middle name is Richard, which is kind of more like, money symbolism. And remember, the rider of the horse tomorrow, he's from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico means rich port. So there's Richard, this guy that just died, his middle name was Donald Richard. Also, Macaulay Culkin was in Richie Rich. I don't know if you guys remember this movie, but Macaulay Culkin was not just in Home Alone. He was in a movie literally called Richie Rich. So there's even that connection. Let's see what Richie. I should have probably looked into this Richie Rich movie, because if it connects to Home Alone. Richie Rich. That movie came out 2 days before the Federal Reserve's birthday. Anyway, you had this guy named Donald Richard Gibb die. He was in Revenge of the Nerds. And we had another guy die this year who was in Revenge of the Nerds. And just so you guys know, I'm working on another decode for possibly tomorrow that's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. Let me just share a sneak peek of, I think, tomorrow's decode. There's this sculpture at the CIA headquarters called Kryptos, and we're going to be decoding this. And I found some absolutely crazy stuff with this Kryptos. And this kind of fits in with today's decode because we talked about crypto. But we're going to talk about the Kryptos tomorrow. And I think this decode will also be mind-blowing. Just wait till you see what I found, man. I'm not going to reveal it yet. It would be I got to save some stuff for tomorrow. So, but I'm just getting started with this decode. So yeah, look forward to that decode. That's going to be another good one. So if anyone wants to do their own research on the Kryptos and bring their own research to the stream, that would be awesome too. Because a lot of people were talking about George W. Bush today, and this connects to George H.W. Bush. Copper post equals 143. What does a copper post have to do? What is that actually? Oh, look at this. Donald Richard Gibb equals 103. That was that connection. Copper post. So what am I missing here? What exactly is a copper post, and how would it tie into this? I'm just trying to figure that out. Copper post. Maybe I'm missing something here. This album blows my mind, guys. There's literally an album that has a song 143 and Home Alone. Like what the heck? That's absolutely mind-blowing. Copper post. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of connection that I might be missing. Copper is another heavy metal, or it is a metal that you can buy. Yeah, but there might be something to it, Crystal. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. I mean, because copper is like, the third metal, right? Pretty much, or platinum. Copper's Venus. Yeah, that's a good one. Copper is Venus. I love you, the goddess of love. Oh, there's a horse in the race tomorrow called Iron. You guys know how Iron is about, iron honor. So I'll have to look more into this race as well. But yeah, 1 hour 43 minutes is 103 minutes, and Home Alone the movie is 1 hour 43 minutes long. That's the thing we found out in here. Enthused Dreams says I should end this stream in 2 minutes. It will be at 1:43 p.m. Central Time. Really? I don't know if I'm gonna end it in 2 minutes because you guys are always giving me new info. Venus rules the sign of Taurus, new moon in Taurus tomorrow. Sun, moon, Mercury, Uranus, all conjunct in Taurus. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, while I'm here, I might as well do this. So, Franchot Pearson, you guys raise your hand in the chat if you guys know Franchot Pearson. He was doing a decode about how Donald Trump, he got rose seeds. Donald Trump rose seeds. So Franchot Pearson showed how, this rose stuff is going on today. Well, the guy who gave Trump rose seeds is Xi, and his birthday is June 15th, right? June 15th. Well, there's a wrestler. I just want to make this connection because I think it's really interesting. There's a wrestler named Bailey who has the same birthday as, right? Same birth. I hate saying this guy's name. Xi or Chi. I don't know how to say that name. Xi, however you say that. But she has the same birthday as this guy, right? But check this out. Her middle name is Rose. And this guy who shares a birthday with her just gave Donald Trump rose seeds. And look how old Bailey is today on this day that he got the rose seeds. She was born on June 15, 1989. Today is 5/15. So check this out. Bailey is exactly 60 Venus years old today. It's her Venus birthday. What's the odds of that? So this Chinese president gives Trump a rose seeds. He has the same birthday as Pamela Rose Martinez. And today, when he gives Trump the rose seeds, Pamela Rose Martinez is on her Venus birthday, 60 Venus years. Venus makes a rose in the sky, the Venus rose. And you know how Venus rose, doesn't Venus rose equal 60? No, Venus rose equals 138 like Donald Trump. See that? Venus rose, Donald Trump, 138. Oh, look at that, guys. Nixon shock equals 138. Interesting. But yeah, Venus rose, Donald Trump. Donald Trump won the 60th election. And now Bailey turns 60 Venus years old today. Also, somebody in the chat's telling me to look at Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers 143. To Mr. Rogers, 143 is a secret numerical code for I love you. Mr. Rogers consistently weighed 143 pounds. What kind of jokes, man? Mr. Rogers. Whoops, I accidentally deleted it. Hold on. I mean, is it even true that he weighed 143 pounds? Like, can we even verify that? Fred McFeely Rogers. Look, he's even got the fee in his name. Like a fee? Like a payment? McFeely? Mr. Rogers. I'm just trying to see if any of his names have a 143 in them. Nope, surprisingly. Surprisingly, there's no 143s in Mr. Rogers' name. There is a 103, though, if you type it like that. But, yeah, sometimes it doesn't line up as perfect as you'd like. Comment on the screen. Let me take that comment down here. Thank you for reminding me. I always leave those comments. They celebrate Mr. Rogers on the 143rd day of the year. 143 Greek to perceive. Okay. Let's just see how many days today is after Mr. Rogers died. Let's just do that. Mr. Rogers died on 2/27/2003. Man, it's been a long time since he died. I didn't realize he died so long ago. June 12th is National Red Rose Day. Last year on June 12th was the deadliest plane crash of the year. Yeah? I'm just trying to think more about this Mr. Rogers thing because his whole thing is connected with that too. But yeah, if you guys find any other stuff connected with this, please drop it into the comments after the video's over. But we're gonna wrap this up now. Hour and 27 minutes in, so that's a great one too. Pretty Circus says the Preakness will air tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. What? On the Pacific Coast, it will air from 1 to 4:30. What the heck? That's also really interesting. Probably not a coincidence. Yeah, Golden Tempo is not going to be in the Preakness. That's right. All right, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day and evening wherever you are. And thank you guys so much for bringing all your finds. If you guys enjoyed the stream, don't forget to hit the like and share with your friends. This was a mind-blowing stream. So we'll see you guys very soon in the next Decode. And God bless you all. Take care.